Yeah, so I said it was called casting when you're sending the dog out.
Mhm.
It's a little bit, there's casting and handling, so there's like some technicality there, but handling is more like I'm gonna control like every little step that you make,
Mhm.
and then casting is more like this direction and that direction. The dog's like still free to hunt
Mhm.
on their own. And then you can have a command as well of like, okay, stop and use your nose and just start searching right there.
Yeah, yeah.
And at that those distances, it's all like whistle work.
Okay, and was it tough to? Because you said that was, like, the first sort of, like, training you did, right? And then
Yeah,
after that, that's when you
first thing I focused on.
gotcha. How was the process? Was it, like, long? Was it something that was pretty easy to do? Like, how did that look like?
Yeah, it was, I would say a year and a half, like,
Okay.
of training, like, from when he was, like, young to, like, he was a year and a half year old.
Mhm.
At a year and a half, he was, like, doing some great retrieves, and so we haven't kept on up on it since we moved away
Mhm.
from the ranch, so he's still crazy about sheds. It's just
Uh-huh.
we've, like, traveled and everything. After the ranch, we went on a year-long road trip,
Well,
and
uh-huh.
we lived out of our truck. We had one of those rooftop tents on top,
Yeah, yeah.
and Chief was in the back of the truck, and our back seat was like our closet. And
That's cool.
my wife and I we went around the whole United States for a
Mhm.
year.
That's
And
epic.
yeah, during that trip, we got to expose Chief to so many different things, and everyone was like, "Whoa, look at your dog! Like, how does your dog do that? Like, could you
Mhm.
train my dog? Hey, can we trade dogs?" I
That's
started
smart.
hearing that over and over again, and I didn't realize at that point like that we had such a valuable dog.
Uh-huh.
And after we started hearing this over and over again, it was like, oh, I think like I have a skill set that I could offer people, but I
Mhm.
didn't know like could I actually do that? Like could I actually turn this into a business? I don't know.
Mhm.
It wasn't until we were in Virginia and I met up with another dog trainer and I got to see his facility and he showed me everything and just yeah, it just really kind of made the switch for me. I was like, I think I
Mhm.
can do this. Um, and that's when I started looking up names of like, I'm gonna come up with some name for the business.
Mhm.
I came up with Gung Ho Dog Training. At the time,
Mhm.
I just wanted to train hunting dogs, and
Mhm.
Gung Ho has that double definition where the definition that you think of it is most likely like, well, you tell me, like when someone says gung ho, what does that mean?
Well, to be quite honest with you, I didn't know what that meant until you mentioned and you said what that meant. So that for me at least, that was the first time that I've heard of that word.
Okay, gotcha. So most of the time people are like, oh, it just means like excited, enthusiastic, ready for
Mhm.
war. Like it comes from like a military um, perspective. And so that's like our American definition of it.
Mhm.
And in relation to dogs, like I want that in a dog. Like I want the dog to be excited, enthusiastic, like they're engaged in the process and they're enjoying it, right? It's
Mhm.
fulfilling their purpose. Like every dog has a genetic tendency, that
Mhm.
they've been bred to do. And so how can
Yeah.
we fulfill that? And so that's part of that gung ho definition. The
Mhm.
other original definition of gung ho comes from an Asian culture that means working together in harmony.
Mhm.
They would say it in like a factory or like a company of like, hey, gung ho, like, let's work together in harmony as one unit,
Mhm.
unified. We all have different skill sets. Like, let's work together. So when we apply that to the dog training relationship, it's like, let's have a harmonious working relationship, right? I'm not just like being the boss over you and controlling every little thing you do and you're scared of
Yeah.
me. And it's also not like, hey, like we're disconnected. Like I'm
Mhm.
trying do things with you, but you're just like completely disconnected. You don't care about me.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
needs to be mutual trust. So like I trust the dog and the dog trusts me and we're both working together. Yes, there's some leadership, right? There's a
Mhm.
hierarchy. I'm the one that buys the dog food. So naturally, like there's a
Ye
hierarchy there. But let's have like a harmonious working relationship. And so because I really like words, like meanings of words and names.
Mhm.
And once I found that out about Gung Ho, I was like, yeah, that's going to be the name.
Nice.
Yeah.
And was that something that took a while for you to get to that name, or was it like did you just kind of find it like instantly, like it just came to you?
There were a couple others I can't really remember them, but once I got that one, I was like, yeah, this is it.
Nice.
And at the time, I was thinking of training gun dogs, like for hunting. So I was like, it
Mhm,
was similar to like, yeah, that. But then we came back. So we finished our road trip. We came
mhm,
back to Ellensburg, where I'm at now, and we lived at my mom's house for about 6 months.
mhm.
During that time, I went and worked for another dog trainer, and then he also had another trainer working for him. So I like worked under both of them. It was like learning from both of them.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. For free or for a cost?
I forgot what I was saying.
So you were saying how your mom had another litter of puppies, and you were asking the owners if you can train them, and then that's when I asked you if you were doing it for free to learn, or did you like, or were they paying you for that?
Yeah. So my mom was having a litter of puppies, and I was like, this is an opportunity where I could train some dogs. I could get my like first clients. And
Mhm,
I asked all the customers that were buying puppies, I said, would you be interested in having me train your puppy for you at a
mhm.
cost? And I charged $500 for a month of training.
Okay.
And wait, no, I think it was more than that, maybe. It might have been 2 months.
2 months for like $500?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was $500 per month. But looking back, like I can't charge that anymore.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah. But four of people decided to throw me a bone, and they said yes. So I trained these four puppies, and it was awesome. I was
Mhm,
up all night potty training four puppies at once, trying to sleep during the day when the puppies were sleeping. It was pretty crazy, but I definitely did well. Like all of the customers were happy.